Hi Gemini, welcome to your September reading. So this is just going to be a general spread. We'll see what's kind of going on. Of course, if you have specific questions, I'll try to point some things out, but if you have specific questions, it's much easier in a personal. And I'll leave my information and rates below and how to go about one. All right, so let's see what's going on for the sign of Gemini. Thank you guys for being back with me. I know it's been a minute, and welcome if you're new. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread today. Just see what generally is going on with Gemini. I'll come back for a mid-month update. We have eclipses this month. We're coming out of Mercury retrograde. So of course we're kind of reviewing stuff, letting stuff go, getting ready for some massive, I feel like, dumps. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Gemini is welcoming this. I'm a Taurus Gemini cusp, but I'm welcoming this. We'll see what comes out in the cards. Messages for Gemini. 3 of Cups crossed by King of Wands, bottom of subconscious, the Hierophant. Wow, interesting. Past is Page of Cups, 10 of Cups, current energy. Queen of Cups, near future, Wheel of Fortune. Whoa, the Emperor, awesome. 9 of Cups, and the outcome, Queen of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. Well, seems like y'all are doing pretty well. I mean, this to me feels like interesting that the 5 of Swords is the overarching theme. I mean, this is kind of feeling a little bit melancholy in the mind. I feel like there's a direction you know you're capable of going or getting to, especially when it comes to I don't know if it's relationships or just genuine happiness, the entire picture, the whole state of life. And I feel like a lot of us are doing this. I feel like we see the coming together of the parts of the pieces, kind of what Uranus and Taurus kind of jumbled our lives, our foundations a bit, and kind of we've been restructuring it. And I feel like once we get one thing kind of solidified and good, it's then we focus on the next. And I feel like it's kind of collecting the pieces and putting them back together. Definitely an emphasis on, I feel like, aligning my heart, my purpose, and I mean the outcome, how to make this work financially. Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. The Emperor is, I mean, that's the King of Kings, but he's also a wonderful boss, leader, father, grandfather. Okay, 9 of Cups. This is a caretaker, though. This is somebody that's a really good leader. Hierophant. I mean, you have some big energy here. I feel like there's kind of this, I don't know if you've been feeling like a spiritual guru. I don't know if you've been advising even friends or neighbors, and it can just come down to giving good advice, sage advice, feeling kind of in tune and tapped in. I feel like aligned, even if everything's not together, even if, one thing's out of place, one thing goes forward, it's I wish other things, I feel like I'm looking at somebody that's in a really decent spot. And that is actually freaking fantastic compared to some of the other readings. Not that we're out of sorts, but I feel like a lot of us have been walking through pea soup. But it's showing me in your past Page of Cups, maybe this is coming for you if you feel like this hasn't happened yet, but I feel like this is I mean, this could be a connection, a message, a new start. There's a spark here that opens the door. I mean, this is collaboration. This is working together, but I feel like in harmony when it comes to the cups. This is joy. This is harmony. There's a reason to celebrate because something came in, and it leads to the 10 of Cups, which is really feeling fulfilled, which is interesting. It's almost it's interesting that the King of Wands is crossed. And I don't know if this is a person in your life. If you'll, I mean, this is a fire sign. It doesn't have to be their sun sign, but definitely fiery elements to them. Of course, that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I mean, in general readings, though, I would read it as somebody that isn't quite sure if that's the direction to go, because the King of Wands knows what he knows. He knows what's that fire in his belly. He's in tune with his intuition. To me, this is like, if I was reading this generally, which I am, it's like needing to kind of align my emotions before I jump into something, before I move forward. Like, is this what I want to start a new trajectory going down? It's almost like, and it can be something as mundane as like creating a side hustle. It's like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to sell plastic goods on Amazon? Maybe this is a route you're thinking about. Or do I really want to be like an affiliate marketer? You know, they're not knocking any of these things, but it's like, what do I really want to do? Is it really resonating? Because I do think we're going into a new kind of world, and it's not quite here yet, but it's going to be, money is not going to be the main motivator anymore. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like, I mean, Gemini, if anybody, you and Aquarius, you guys kind of see what's going on in the world. It's definitely a time of change, definitely a time of positive change. And I think we need the leaders to step forward, not to be afraid of leading, not to be afraid of sounding crazy, not being afraid to go after your dreams. And I feel like early bird kind of gets the worm. Like, let's figure this out first. I'm seeing this card. It doesn't feel bad, but it just feels like I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm kind of at a crossroads in the mind. Do I go on this direction? Do I go on this direction? I almost feel like it doesn't matter. It's like, just start going. You might be pulled in a new direction, but I feel like the effort is what's most important. Just getting started. Because the Hierophant is in the subconscious. It's like, you will be guided. You will receive these downloads. You will receive these messages. And there could be, yeah, course correction, but I wouldn't negate anything. Like, everything has its purpose in our learning curve, you know, yada, 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 all that stuff to kind of get you to this point, to the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. I mean, that's in the position of what you need to know. It's all about kind of also self-fulfillment. It has to be nourishing for your soul. And that's kind of the purpose of everything we've been going through, why we've kind of ripped up our whole foundation and reorganized our lives over the last few years to align with our heart. I mean, that's the shifting to the fifth dimension. That's the intensity of the awakening. We have to do this. We can't stay with stale energy. It's almost like our skin will crawl if we do it another day. With that said, I feel like the energy is just saying, get started. I mean, listen to the messages. I feel like if you aren't seeing them, ask for them specific. Maybe it's birds, maybe it's pennies, maybe it's frogs. I don't know. I have messages that happen to me with frogs for so long. Maybe it's, again, you know, numbers on the clock. Ask for messages. So I feel like you'll feel, I feel like secure in your, I feel like progress. Three of Swords, yeah, it's like the mind and the heart are kind of going two different ways. And I feel like that's where the hesitation is to even start. I'm going to say this, and I think it's important to put things in context. We're entering a whole new world. We're already in the age of Aquarius. I mean, we're already seeing the AI stuff. We're not going to be doing the crummy jobs, the labor, the struggle any longer. I mean, a little bit longer, yes. And I was saying this to basically every other sign, and whether you like them or not, doesn't matter. I find this resonates, and I find it's going to happen. I find it's true. And it was Elon Musk saying that, we're not going to have universal basic income, we're going to have universal high income. And this is kind of going hand in hand with like bricks and like commodity based, tangible good based economy, and not just this imaginary, paper printing situation that's happening. And it's going to level the playing field in very interesting ways. And it's going to also, like, think of Saudi Arabia, everybody's a millionaire and people still work. Society still functions, but they get a part of their nation's commodities, their oil or whatever. I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe somebody can fill me in, but I think this is going to happen. I mean, think of like the poorest nations. This is going to happen. This is where we're all kind of going through this birthing process of figuring out what that spark in our heart is. What would make us the 10 of Cups? That's your focus right now. What would be the actual 10 of Cups? Like your version of, a psychedelic dreamscape, dreamland that you never thought was possible. There's, unicorns and rainbows and cute cats floating. What is, obviously, what is your version though, like of a real dream? And it has to be the things that matter. It has to be based and rooted in again, that new higher frequency. So again, the things that once mattered, you're going to have to kind of reevaluate it. Am I doing this because it's part of my heart, or does it make sense to my mind in the old kind of paradigm? And this is where I feel like the Queen of Cups, she's very practical. She's like the mother. She gives birth to new ideas. She gives birth to babies. You might be having a baby. For sure with this energy, very fertile energy with those two crowning and these two and the foundation. Very, and the Page of Cups, very pregnant type of energy. And this is like creating a new story for yourself, kind of getting unstuck from, maybe old realities of old situations. Definitely a lot of pregnancy energy. I mean, this is the ultimate dad. Yeah, this is like a dream come true, wish, something you've wanted, extreme emotional fulfillment. And people celebrating you here. And grow on this though. So imagine that being somebody's dream, even if it's not yours right now, like having a child or giving birth. What are you giving birth to? And amplify that. It doesn't have to be just the end goal is I just wish I could get pregnant or have one child. And then what? And then what? And then what? Not saying that you'll never be satisfied, but like keep growing this and writing this down. Actually, quite a few signs. Quite a few signs the focus was on finances. I'm not really seeing that here. I'm feeling the focus for you guys is on like true fulfillment, true joy. You guys are really freaking smart. How can you merge things to make your life easier and more aligned with where we're going? Because I'm reading for somebody clearly who's very psychic, very intuitive, I also feel like influential, whether it's just on the people around you or you have a big following. I feel very influential. And you might be feeling at an impasse. Like I said, I'm a Taurus, but I was born on the 20th of May, so very Gemini-y. I definitely feel the Gemini. I'm definitely Gemini. But yeah, it's something I can absolutely resonate with. It's like coming back, even with tarot, I felt called back to speak. I felt called back to do something that I know. I don't do this for money. I offer, readings to clients. It's well below anything anybody charges. I genuinely enjoy doing it. But at a certain point, I'm like, okay, I like to do other things too. but I really felt a calling to come back. I just feel like it's kind of a time to be all hands on deck. Maybe somebody needs to listen to this, or maybe somebody needs to talk in person. Maybe somebody just needs a reading, just to be of service. I think now is a wonderful time to be in that position, to have a clear vision. And again, it can be anything, like my clear vision for my life. I used to have retreats in Peru. That became a bit of a crazy show when I kept getting locked in and out of Peru during, the craziness of border closures. I'd like to do that again. I'd like to do it in the United States, closer to family, have a family, grow my mushrooms, all different kinds, and my wildflowers and my honeybees, and just live on a farm with some happy animals. Like, that's ultimate dream. And that's what I'm feeling here. There's like something here giving birth. There's something here being created, essentially. And it's gonna give overwhelming joy. It's just asking you to kind of have that electrical connection between the mind and the heart, like clear the chakras if you feel there's some sort of crossed energy. Maybe it's just from years of conditioning. I feel like we've been going through kind of thick pea soup, especially when it comes to the economy. That'll pass soon. We're gonna see some big, I hope, crashing lightning bolt changes, because it needs to happen quickly. But what's on the other side? Again, it's like, keep in perspective. We're entering this whole new world where we're gonna be doing things for the joy of it. All right, let's get a card for the sign of Gemini. You guys have really fantastic cards. The Five of Swords kind of overshadows everything, which is like, it's kind of like, what way do I go? Like, I can't make my mind up on something here, which is kind of frustrating. And I think, wait till the eclipses happen, or build up this dream though to that energy. Because again, we're kind of getting rid of stuff and exchanging energy. So it is a little bit of pea soup this week. Virgo season, this month. Virgo season though is a great time to get organized, especially with our thoughts, our emotions, our house, our everything. Messages that would be helpful for Gemini. Sorrow. Interesting. Let's read it. Let me find it. Give me a second. It says, the commentary. The image is of Ananda, the cousin of the disciple of Gautama Buddha. He was at Buddha's side constantly, attending to his every need for 42 years. When Buddha died, the story is told that Ananda was still at his side weeping. The other disciples chastised him for his misunderstanding. Buddha had died absolutely fulfilled. He should be rejoicing. But Ananda said, "You misunderstand. I'm weeping not for him, but for myself. Because for all these years I have been constantly at his side, but I have still not attained." Ananda stayed awake for the whole night, meditating deeply and feeling his pain and sorrow. By morning, it is said, he was enlightened. Times of great sorrow have the potential to be times of great transformation. But in order for transformation to happen, we must go deep to the very roots of our pain and experience it as it is, without blame or self-pity. Oof, that is definitely resonating with me. Sorrow. This pain is not to make you sad, remember. That's where people go on missing. This pain is just to make you more alert, because people become alert only when the arrow goes deep into their heart and wounds them. Otherwise, they don't become alert. When life is easy, comfortable, convenient, who cares? Who bothers to become alert? When a friend dies, there's a possibility. When your woman leaves you alone, Those dark nights you are lonely. You have loved that woman so much, and you have stalked all, and then suddenly one day she is gone. Crying in your loneliness, those are the occasions when, if you use them, you can become aware. The arrow is hurting, it can be used. The pain is not to make you miserable, the pain is to make you more aware. And when you are aware, misery disappears. Yeah. I mean, I've said for a lot of the other signs, we're kind of going through like this collective rebirth, and it's painful. It doesn't feel good. We want to escape it, but it's happening in the body. It's just, it's a part of being fully human, though. I would say embrace it. If you don't know the answers, ask spirit, ask for inspiration from source, because more stability is coming in, and it comes in the form of a major blessing. But this full spectrum, I mean, it's the full spectrum of being alive. That's the whole story of the hero's journey, right? That's the whole purpose of tarot. When we see different cards, we know exactly kind of what point we're at. I mean, you're getting king, queen, queen. I mean, this is mastery, emperor. This to me points to the end, the 10. Wheel of Fortune changes finally. It's like expect unexpected, but unexpected freaking good. And facilitate it by dreaming a beautiful dream. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here. I hope this was helpful, Gemini. It's always a pleasure to read for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's been a minute. Curious how you guys are all doing. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I'll be back mid-month, so definitely subscribe if you are unsubscribed or are new here. And yeah, if you want a specific reading, obviously into your exact story, I'll leave my information below. All right, thanks, Gemini.